Hi there, Ron here of Variable Play, and welcome to another Open Game Night.
Open game night. Yeah, we're gonna get that
I
synced
wonder if
eventually.
we'll be doing that like we're old already in our like 60s.
I'll have someone do it for me when the episode starts. It's like, say
I'll be like the macho man. Oh yeah,
yeah,
brother. Are we on
Macho
live? Are we on
Man.
live? Oh, my
Are
throat.
we on the line? Are we on the line?
Are we on the line?
And you know
Don't
what?
forget
I'm
to
gonna I'm going to make a
subscribe.
prediction. Even at that age, if we continue the show, my opinions on certain games will not change.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
At age of
Depends if there's a
60,
new
like, back in our
expansion.
day, we used to play games that really sucked.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today we'll be doing a roulette on something a little bit different. So last time we did this, Javi, we did
Yeah,
the professions, right?
right. So this is our
Yes.
wheel of recommendations wherein we take different topics or pretty much criteria. So like for the last time we did this, we decided to go with different industries and what games we would recommend to people from certain industries. So today we're doing the wheel again, but with a totally different premise set up. So it's gonna be interesting.
Cool.
Um, yeah,
Nice.
while we get started, and without Denmark today, we still
I
need to do
already
this.
have shared.
Oh,
Um,
we've done the social medias. That's
yes.
awesome. So efficient, so efficient.
I didn't even notice that. Wow.
Yeah.
It
So
has been
okay,
sent out.
let's just
Hey,
do
Clint.
our quick round table while there some comments are coming in. Interesting.
Good evening.
Good
So,
evening, Clint. Hi, Clint.
as usual, what have you guys been playing?
Yeah, so let's just do the quick round table. So,
Uh,
I finally got to play Commander again recently, and it was awesome.
Oh,
Even though
beautiful.
I
I
did not
envy
win.
you.
But I also finally found some time. I played yesterday. I played one game of It's a Wonderful World, and I finally won again. It took forever. I've been getting destroyed. The people
Mhm.
on Game Park are really good, but I finally ended up in a one-on-one game where I assumed the guy had no idea what he was doing. So I won.
Hey, with a guy who doesn't know what he was doing. Oh, cool. I've been playing not much. It's been a busy end of the month, but I've been playing something called Daka Squadron Warhammer 40K.
Oh,
So
okay. Cool.
shooting kind of game, but it's more focused on the orcs. That's a pretty unique kind of focus on a game. The bad guys, and then you're part of the squadron. It's if you're not used to super 3D, you will get airsick. It's 360, 180, everything. It's all over the place. So yeah,
Wow.
Daka
Okay.
Squadron.
But
Ron?
so is is it first person view or
A third person view
oh
actually.
nice. Love
Oh,
third
Upgrade
okay.
your
person view.
spaceship.
So it's like pretty much like Star Fox, like a third person ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
faster and
Oh, okay,
much
okay.
more weirder, and a lot of Orcus Brits.
Hey, hey, finally people are coming on. Good evening, good
Good
evening.
Oh,
evening. So
Hey,
Fred, good
Fred.
evening.
Good evening. And Danny.
Annalyn.
Hello,
Danny,
Danny.
Yeah,
Looking
so
forward to
always.
see the setup in action, Danny.
yes.
That's such a good setup.
I have been well, I have tried out, so I haven't really played fully. One is uh what is the title of this? Let me just take my volume up. Um Dungeon. Hang on, hang on.
Of the Endless,
Hey, Margie. Good
Dungelot,
evening.
Dungelot,
Morgan,
Shattered Lands,
Okay.
Dungeon Lot.
Dungelot, Shattered Lands, and it is um a fantasy themed Minesweeper.
Hey, I'd like to
Mm.
try that out. I actually like Minesweeper.
So
Minesweeper.
it
Ang
is
lupit ng graphics nun.
well, this one is pixel art then fantasy, you have a hero, you pick up loot and weapons, and you tap on a dungeon tile, and it opens up if there are nobody there, and then has X marks, and the bombs are enemies, so you can still fight them and level up. So
Or you
very
fight the mines.
you fight the mines. You fight the mines. You get to fight the mines.
That's actually pretty interesting.
So yeah, actually that's the reason why I got it was like Minesweeper, because last time I did the Pixel Sokoban, right? So I'm
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
hey, huh, this is interesting. So I might do a playthrough of this, and I recently also got the Neuroshima Hex. Uh,
Oh,
I think they did an update. I'm not sure. People said they updated. It's
I got to play
decent.
that years ago.
It's decent.
yeah. The mobile version, huh?
Seems to be more. The app is a little bit better, I think. And then another one, which is Lovecraft Stories Untold, or Lovecraft Untold Stories. Sorry, Untold Stories, which is like a top-down. Um,
Shooter, like a twin stick.
shoot.
Twin stick shooter.
Yes. So you're entering
Investigator.
Arkham, and you're an investigator, and you have a shotgun,
You
and there are
shotgun.
That
Okay.
actually sounds. I actually wouldn't mind playing that either. Okay, please tell me that's not only iOS.
no. It started, of course, in Steam. That's the only reason why I have them on my phone is because I don't have a gaming PC, so I always
Eh,
tend
Hey,
to
not all
find
gaming
games that
PCs
would work.
will play your favorite games, so it's okay.
Yes.
Yep.
So those are the stuff that I have been trying out, and
Interesting.
painting.
Oh yeah, like last time you finished Aftermath, right?
Yes, so I finished Aftermath, and now I am doing something crazy. I have started to paint destinies.
Okay, I
Do it.
thought for when you
The
said
tiny ones. Look at
crazy,
that.
I thought for a moment like you started to paint cubes.
Well, it almost feels like that because it is stupidly tiny.
Oh wow,
Put up your
yeah.
thumb. Put your thumb up and versus the mini. Oh man, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's like
They're
less than
so
half your thumb.
tiny. They're
Yeah, so
mini minis.
but this is let me fi-
It's a minotaur.
so some sort of
That's
demon
a
looking
mini
thing.
toy.
Minotaur.
Yeah,
Mini
minotaur.
toy.
Yeah, but this one is cute.
That's a bunch of rats.
Yes.
Rats. That's a rat horde.
It's a swarm of rats.
Swarm of
Swarm
rats.
of rats. But it's mostly people, and then eventually I will be painting this. Not a mini anymore. So you can
That's
just see
still
the
Beautiful.
that's still a mini.
true, but compared to your, these are
Yeah.
actually you. Like you will,
In terms of
um,
scale,
Player.
yeah, the big boss is a big boss.
yes, yeah. So
Unless it's pure
and
decoration.
I learned that if it's this small, you can sort of group them in like threes, and I would paint them. So instead of I use this as my paint tool. Instead of putting
Oh,
them here, right, I would put them this way. And I will paint three
okay.
at a time
Because they're so small. Okay.
because they're so small anyway. It's like nobody's gonna judge me.
Wait, so you use a brush for that?
Sure. I
Normally, you
would
can
still.
say I use a toothpick. No, no joke, no joke. I actually painted something smaller than that, and I had to use a toothpick.
Oh my gosh, no, no. I bought not expensive brushes, but they're decent enough. So I have some
Adequate
of
ones.
those.
Cool.
So that's what I've been doing.
All right. Well, excellent. It seems like you've been the busiest from all three of us.
Yeah.
So okay, wait, I'm gonna load up what we're gonna be doing today. So just to give everyone an idea for today's topic, You can look this up online, but what we're going to be using as our basis for today's recommendation wheel is the 9 Quantic gamer types. So Quantic uh, sent
Quantic
out
Foundry.
like, yeah, Quantic Foundry created a gamer motivation profile and was
Mm-hmm.
able to come up with 9 different gamer types. Now, these are kind of specific towards mobile gaming, desktop, and like console gaming. But for today, we're gonna attempt to extend that and translate it over to board gaming. So you can definitely look up the Quantic Foundry gamer types. A quick Google search will actually bring that up. And maybe towards the end of the episode, I can add a link to the comments once we post this on the Facebook page for Variable Play. So let's load this up. Here we go.
All right.
So I have put in all 9 possible gamer types. So just to walk everyone through here, we are looking at the acrobat, the gardener, the slayer, the skirmisher, the gladiator, the ninja, the bounty hunter, the architect, and the bard. It will take a little bit too much time to explain each. So instead, we're going to spin, and based on the result, I will give you at least a background of what these gamer types are defined as, and then we're gonna, quick fire or come up with board game recommendations for these gamer types. So let's begin. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
All right, let's spin this.
Hey, we have sounds.
Yep.
This sound. Bard.
All right, so we have
Oh.
stopped at the bard. Okay. So I'm gonna close that out.
So what's
Okay.
a bard, Javi?
Right. Thank you. Yes, let me load it up. So just to explain to everyone the gamer type of bard, their motto is as follows: playing a part in a grand story. Okay. So bard are social
Can we
players.
show the page for
Okay, sure.
the?
Let me share that as well. That's a good idea. Although it's gonna be a little bit of reading here. So one moment. Let's take this away, and then
That's
I'm gonna
okay.
share another. Let's see, share.
Maybe I could do the. Could you send me the link for that?
It's okay. Here, it's coming up. I got it.
Okay.
All
Cool.
right.
There you
Picture.
go.
People
All right.
love pictures. There you go.
Right. So let's zoom in just a little bit.
That's a mug of
How's that?
beer. That's the
Yeah.
bard. That is
Yep.
the
So
bard.
cool.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so there, I zoomed in just a bit so everyone can read better. So let me go ahead and read it out for everyone. So Bard is the very last of the 9, and so they go by the statement that playing a part in a grand story. Okay, bards are social players who want to chat and interact with other players in game worlds that are rich with lore, stories, discovery, and customization. They want to be part of a grand story in a community of other players that together craft and shape the world and the stories that get told. For them, the game is a theatrical stage. They care very little about power progression and task completion, and want to just experience the game world organically. In their popular games, we see titles like The Secret World or Final Fantasy 14. Other popular games that are listed here is Lord of the Rings Online and Animal Crossing and Undertale.
Okay.
Okay, so
Cool.
taking that into consideration, so should you meet a bard type personality that you would like to introduce into the world of board gaming, there is one immediate answer, but let's not go with like the obvious. Dungeons and Dragons is the immediate tabletop.
Yes.
Let's not go with that. Okay,
True.
maybe the board game versions might be something to go with, but do any of you have a recommendation for somebody who is more story driven?
Cool. Well, I think um, I could go first, and I'm g- so normally with at least when I with the bard personality, they want to be at least from my what I understood, they want to be sort of in the front and center of what's going on.
Right.
And I think I might actually go, random person, hey, here is snake oil. And in snake oil, it's a game, very simple game. You have an ailment or an issue, a problem, and you're gonna combine two ingredients and try to sell it to that person that it will cure their ailment. So it's a very light card game. There are so many versions of this, but for a bard, I think being able to express yourself and come up with stories about why your uh, vacuum cleaner uh, quadcopter is the best thing that the internet has created because
Okay.
right
Vacuum
you don't
quadcopter.
have a
Yeah.
vacuum, you have a quadcopter vacuum, and you heard that here first, because it will wash away the dusts and then suck it back in. Okay? So
Okay. It's
It
Oi, oi, oi.
recycles. All right, cool.
all right, so that is my recommendation. First time quick game for the bard.
Okay, so I'll throw one in here that they really want like a full on story, but I'm actually going to suggest something else. It's something that can be completed in a much shorter time, but it is really all about telling a story, and that would be Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
So you
Mm.
have so many story bits like weapons and scenarios that can happen. And you're working with the table, either trying to convince them or at least build a story with the help of like the lead investigator. So I think that the bard type personality will appeal to shaping that murder scenario that you guys are playing in that 30-minute game. Okay, fine. It doesn't really have like the grandiose lore, but I think at the end of it, that some players are either super analytical, that they're gonna take everything black and white, and there's gonna be the kind of people that wanna try telling a story with these cards. And I think that they'll appreciate murder. Yeah, the Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
Cool. I do have a
Nice.
follow up to it, but let's go with Kia first because I'm
My
going too extreme.
choice, sige, my choice initially was Forgotten Waters. And then
Mhm.
I realized I actually have a game here that's for me perfect for the bard. It's called The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
Oh,
Okay.
That itself is a book, but the book is a part instructional manual on how to play a game, whereas you actually have to invent a story. You're given a question like, how did you steal the jewels of King Ali whatever, and then right there and then you have to create a certain story, a unbelievable story, and then if people enjoy your story, they start betting their monies, adding more topics like, but how did you get away from the dragon? Ah, my good sir, we after stealing the crown, I went underground and etc. etc. etc.
Wow. It sounds
Until
like a fantasy version of But Wait, There's More.
something
yes.
like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Only this time it's all about being really really out of there. The more fantastic your story is, and the more you answer the questions of your peers around the table, the more money you earn and the more you lose. Whoever loses his money first loses, obviously. Whoever has the most at the end of the game wins. So that's my choice. The Extraordinary Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
All right, great. So,
That's
how many recommendations do you want to do for each type that we're gonna go through today?
maybe
Good
two,
question. Maybe
Okay,
two.
two. Okay. So before
right?
we do our second round, so we do have one suggestion from Clint, Tales of
I
Arabian
think he
Nights.
gave two actually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's one more right before that. Okay. Lord of the Rings, Journey into Middle Earth, or any narrative heavy campaigns. Yeah. No, you can't use Simon because the scenarios are very, very dry and simple. You can
Ooh, them fighting words.
No, you can technically like I play Simon, and the scenario is like you need to escape, get to the helipad, go. it's very it's straight to the point.
Get
So
to the
that's
chopper.
it fits with my play style very well. And actually, we can talk about our results at the end of this maybe. But yeah, no, that's
Good.
not for a bard at all.
Okay.
So okay,
Arabian Nights. Good
let's do.
choice.
Yeah, it's that's actually a pretty good choice. The other thing that comes to mind for me when the whole idea here is kind of customization, and they want to be part of a big story, and you can always go with maybe the simpler routes, like maybe werewolf or something like that. But there is the I believe it's called Western Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yeah. Clint has
Isn't
that.
That
that
it's a
like
sandbox.
right?
So
Yeah.
it's a sandbox board game that might work better for them because it is sort of like you're free to wander and do whatever you want. So you're not necessarily taking one determined path. So that would be another recommendation that I could maybe throw towards the bard type.
Okay. All right. So
Cool.
my
Cool.
recommendation is something I haven't played it, but I'm actively seeking it. Um, and it's a little bit unorthodox in the sense that Bard wants to talk about things, but you would be doing a lot of talking here in this game, just not in the expected way. So the title of the game is Alice is Missing, and the setting
Hmm.
is basically you have this high school. It could be a little bit heavy in terms of the topic. It is a board game RPG of sorts, but it's a silent RPG because the way you play it is you are given sort of these prompts of what could have happened to Alice, and you and the players that you're with are texting each other or messaging, whatever the case may be. So you're private messaging each other the story of what you think has happened, depending on the prompts of the game and things that could have happened. So it is quite um, from what people are saying, it is very emotional. So some people actually cry after playing this game because it
Wow.
is um, they are so connected with the characters that they were able to create. At the same time, the
Wow.
story and how very immersive it is. So it's called uh,
Alice is
Alice
missing.
is Missing, a
Alice
silent
is missing.
role playing game by Renegade.
Oh,
So
Renegade.
Hmm.
yes.
That's
So really
Okay.
that's
interesting,
neat.
cool art, and wow, the concept is such an amazing and intriguing idea.
Okay, we have
It's,
two more recommendations here, but let's finish this off with Chaos second pick.
I already mentioned it a while ago. Forgotten Waters. You're forced to
Yes.
be in a group of pirates. You don't have to like each other,
Arg.
and that's good.
Yeah,
And that's
it's
good.
not yeah, it's not that there's not that many things to like tasks to complete. Like it's actually very equally divided, I guess. Like what everyone's
Yes.
doing and contributing, sure. But in terms of the storytelling, yeah, okay, yeah, you can be pretty
Good
flexible. And
writers.
you can be
Very good
flexible if you
writers.
want to. Okay.
You don't have to comply with the immediate obvious choices. Because let's say you're given a choice to, let's say, feed the crew. You don't have to. And then everyone will be like, why don't you feed the crew? Why? It's my choice to not feed the crew. And the crew gets mad. And you're like, okay, let's not make that guy feed the crew because he doesn't want to feed him. But unfortunately, you have to sacrifice also your choices of what you need to get to him because it's an individual leveling up to game. You have your own
Mhm.
personal goals, and yet you really have to work together at one point or another to
Right.
finish the story because there is a conditions of losing, and those are pretty easy to attain. So
Okay.
yeah,
Cool.
and
Well,
story
I agree. I
driven, yeah,
mean,
the app.
I've enjoyed Forgotten Waters in like the three sessions we played, and I've been part of the silent crew and also the very story-driven crew. So both work both worked out pretty well.
Yeah,
All
the One
right.
Piece chicken.
So yeah.
The crew of the One Piece chicken or Two Piece chicken. I forgot.
Actually, no. It was a different part of a chicken, but
Hey, your names actually mean something in the game. If your
yeah,
name pops up in one of the stories of someone else, then could be
right.
positive, could be negative. That's a funny part.
So
Cool.
let's first say good
Hi,
evening to
TJ.
another
Hey,
day
TJ. What's up, man?
and a recommendation from Clint. So we
Of course.
Gloom, right? So but Gloom, it really is story driven in that you are trying to build like a backstory to just cards, but I don't know. Well, it depends on the mood of whoever the
Yeah,
bard
if
personality is.
depends on how people play it. It could be a very immersive, sort of quirky um, game to play because you're basically enjoying the demise as you go deeper and deeper. So yes, cool.
Interesting. All right. So that takes care of the first personality type that we've gone through today. So that is the bard.
The
So
Bard.
let's go ahead and load up the next one.
I thought
So,
we were gonna talk about sexy games because of the Bard, because of his
Yeah.
reputation in D&D.
all
Sexy
right. So,
games.
so we have eight remaining here on the wheel. So I have removed the bard. So there's eight personality types left. Let's spin for round two.
Spin
Go
the
Ninja! Ninja, ninja,
wheel.
ninja.
All right.
Yay!
And we have
This is interesting.
fallen with the skirmisher. Let's move that. All right. One moment. So for
Avi,
the
what is a
skirmisher,
skirmisher?
right. So let's load up the definition of the skirmisher again. Okay. One moment. Here we go. Okay. Let's find the skirmisher. Here we go. Oh, we want the stats though. Well, we don't necessarily need the stats. But okay, you guys got it on screen? All right,
Uh,
here we go.
There you
There,
go.
skirmisher. Okay, so let me read this out for everyone. So skirmishers are centered on action social motivations, the cluster of the first four motivations that were previously mentioned. So this is a combination of different gamer types. They're looking for fast-paced team arenas that aren't too challenging and don't require much thinking and planning. They want exciting arenas that they can easily hop into. Low completion score means that they are fine with more match-based games where everything resets after each match instead of it being accumulative or continuous. So these are like, let's say, short battles. um, Popular games that are listed is pretty much online shooters like Call of Duty, Battlefield. There is a lower percentage of female gamers among skirmishers, but they are also slightly younger in age at an average. So to
really
give
now.
you some idea,
Hmm.
we're gonna move up here to the skirmisher. Their statement or their motto is jumping into the fray of battle. Um, the popular games for them: Rust, Call of Duty, Battlefield, Escape from Tarkov, Valorant, DayZ, Gary's Mod, Counter Strike.
Interesting.
So let me go back down to the definition so you can go back to that. All right. So, as it mentioned, just to give you a little bit of an idea, that the skirmisher is a combination of the first four types, first three. So, an acrobat, a gardener, and a slayer. So, pretty much they are a cluster of the first four motivations that kind of all put together. So, you can take the definition meaning that they have aspects of different personality types, but their main objective is that they are looking for something fast paced that isn't accumulative. So that's why, like, sort of the MOBA arena type would work
Mhm.
for them.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now I can
Cool.
get that.
Well, since MOBA is or comes to mind, I would immediately go towards Rum and Bones, which is pretty much a MOBA converted into a board game.
Right.
So
Cool.
you
Yeah.
can go with first or second edition. It depends more on your playstyle, but it is pretty much pirate warfare.
fantasy pirate warfare, right?
Sure.
Okay,
All
cool,
right.
cool. Um, I could go. It the way I see the skirmisher, it feels me more of like I agree about the team game and um, so things like Crossmaster, sort of
Oh
where
yeah.
you have a
Agree.
team and you're fighting the enemies. I love
Yeah,
Morgan's.
Morgie's recommendation looks
Yeah,
pretty good,
agree.
man.
Yep,
Love
that's
letter and Dungeon
Yeah.
very
Mayhem.
yeah. Oh,
Definitely
now
that sort
now I
of
have to
really
change my
quick
choice.
quick fire get it over with. I would actually go with and this is a little bit on the sort of pick up and go and sort of enjoy it quickly and then not have that uh strong need to have to finish the whole story, but I still want to enjoy a story. So I would actually go for all of the one deck dungeon
Oh
series,
yeah, nice,
right?
nice pick,
Where
nice pick. That's
Yes.
where
actually a good idea.
you have that feeling of I'm going through this dungeon, but you gotta be a little bit very tactical because you're just gonna run through it once, and you get this progressive story, but not that deep, of course, because it's just a pass through. But you wanna be able to have that sort of continuous decision making that you uh, pretty much get when you play things like Dota or League of Legends, where you're constantly making micro decisions. So you can kind of do that also with One Deck Dungeon. So that's my skirmisher recommendation.
All right,
Skirmisher recommendations. Now, for my part, I guess quick, right? Quick game, fast,
that's
immediately get
competitive.
yeah, it's competitive, and you get to get conflict with whoever you're playing with. That's my point of view what a skirmisher is. So I would choose cockroach poker or similarly dead man's chest
Oh,
because
Okay,
less
yay.
very few rules, easy components, and you're actually trying to trying to fight the people right beside you. You lie or you bluff your way through the game in the
Dead
quick
Man's Chest
succession. Yeah.
is the liar's dice, but you have a small chest, right? And you have
Yes, with
a
two
die
dice. Yeah,
with two
two
dice and
dice.
just
Yeah.
shake it
Shake it
and don't
and
even
bluff.
look and you bluff.
Like
Two
you look
sixes.
first. You look first and then you bluff.
Okay, fair enough. I don't want to look. I just say.
I just say it's 10, 2 fives, 5 5. You haven't seen it yet. It's 5 5. I don't believe you liar.
Bluff me or not.
So that's essentially also skulls. That it's
It
almost
is.
like
It is.
another
It is.
translation,
It
right?
is.
So
It is
Yes.
from the same liar's dice, but they compressed it to a super compact system. But remember, I also have that Paco game Lie, where it's using cards as dice. You have the die face, let's say a 3 above and a 4 below, and you choose which side when you're dealt the cards. You choose which side, and yeah. So very quick, but sort of caught you're in this skirmish right away of figuring out how to weave yourself out of the situation you're in. So I
In
agree. I
less than
can
a
see it.
few
I can see it.
moments.
Cool.
Yeah.
Second
all right.
recommendation.
Well, so let's so we touched on Morgies. I also see one here from Roni that is crossing. So
Mm. interesting.
I think this
Like
can work. Then.
crossing the point game crossing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the
As long as we as long as we
point.
play it your way.
The way we taught it in the Philippines, everywhere else in the world plays crossing differently, except for how we did it here.
Then another one, Space Cadets Dice Duel.
Oh, agree. Yes, this is
Mm.
frantic, and yeah, so many choke situations here where you're just like, I need to. What do I do? And yes,
I can't do it, Captain.
You know, after reading Morgie's comment for Love Letter, I actually was thinking of Libertalia. The fact that after every round it resets, but it's not fast paced. So I think that I will actually change my recommendation and instead go with something that I think can really fit the skirmisher type, and that would be Star Realms.
Oh,
A
Yes.
one-on-one deck builder, 50 life, just drain each other down, and you can shuffle up and start again.
yes, agree, agree, agree,
Yes, yes,
agree,
I agree with that. That's
agree.
good.
I like that. I like that. It's a very good. Like you wanna pick up and go and let's go. Have
It's,
at
it's
it.
it's high conflict. You have no choice. That's the only thing you do in the game.
Did DJ teach you guys his conversion for the for the counts, like
No.
the pew.
Oh, oh no, you've explained this before.
I think he
No,
did.
God,
Yeah.
no.
So he would make sounds, and that's the damage that you took. Basically, a one, four, and five, depending on like what is the sound that was chosen. So when you hear them, it's they're like kids, pew 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 pow, and they
Pew,
start
pew,
flipping the damage.
I am a magic player. I don't even use the life counters that come with the Star Realms. I got me enough D20s to take care of the job. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Can we pick your hand, boy?
I would still go back with my sort of roguelike um, skirmish aspect, and I actually played this last Sunday, which is Scoundrel. So Scoundrel is just using a normal set of playing cards. It was designed 2011, but it is pretty much like what all of those sort of card driven apps where you have a monster and you have a weapon and you hit that monster, it reduces the power of the weapon. You deal with the monster. If you can't deal with the monster, you take it as damage. So that was the game that I played. Of course, I
Yeah,
made a
isn't that pretty much Welcome to the Dungeon?
yes, agree.
Mm, mm.
But this one, you're really trying to decide because in Welcome to the Dungeon, you're boasting. There's a bard aspect to Welcome to a Dungeon,
Yeah.
right? Where you're coaxing other players.
Pressing your
I
luck
went
to-
to that dungeon actually. I think I was able to go this far. But with Scoundrel, uh, you are getting weapons and you're getting health and you have enemies that you have to go through. But it had this very unique system about how you get weapons and how they degrade in effectivity. So basically, it had the system where there's actually your weapons lose their durability. It's basically durability. So they implemented durability with just a bunch of playing cards. If you guys are interested in seeing me sweat it out and cry because I made this mistake of okay, so if the opponent
Start your Sundays right and watch Ron get tortured.
my variant to it was okay, if I get damage, I'll do push-ups. But if I need to use my weapon, I need to do squats. I did not do my math correctly because there are 26 enemies that I have to deal with. So that is 26 times whatever weapon I am carrying at the time. So it was,
Wow.
I was taking damage just so I can skip the squad.
Who
It's like,
damage?
I
Yeah,
was-
sure, why not?
Yeah, my knees are getting the damage. Anyway, I talked too much about it. So my recommendation, it is really interesting dungeon roguelite, uh, and just with a plain deck of cards. There is a modern edition, or at least a modern descendant to this, which went into Kickstarter called Regicide, where they now were able to take it from just a dungeon to now like a raid deck of sorts.
Nice.
So
Yeah, we featured that in one of our previous episodes. The Regicide deck of cards actually looks really nice.
yes, with Will.
Yeah,
So
Very nice.
cool.
Cool.
So,
All right.
KO, round us out, man. What is your second recommendation for the Skirmisher?
Jab, real-time boxing.
Ah,
Right? You guys know that,
yes.
right?
Okay, okay.
You guys know
I
that
was
game?
not, I was not expecting that as a recommendation, but yes, it does work.
It's not the best game out of there, but heck, if you want instant action, you got two decks, your left hand and your right hand. And you've got your head, your body to protect. And then for every combination that you see on the table, you have to get it in order to score points. And if you score enough points, you can actually TKO your opponent by grabbing the TKO token
Card of the token.
before him, but he can steal it back if he does a TKO on his side as well. So it's a matter of how fast you can see the combos, because there's no timing to the left and right
There's
arm.
no
You can do it
turn.
fast. Yeah,
There's no turn
turn.
order. It's simultaneous play, and you're basically throwing jabs and
game.
crosses left and right, and your
Yes.
opponent is trying to throw blocks as well as throw attacks
Wow.
also.
Okay,
on
so
you.
yeah, this is like I can see now why crossing was also thrown as a recommendation. That's
Yeah.
I think something that might go also follow with that, but it does have a little bit of round per round progression. It's greedy goblins.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
It kind of follows the same line as jab.
Yes, agree. Really goblins.
fastest
Pure
hands
chaos.
doesn't necessarily win, but quick eyes do.
Yes.
There, yeah, jab, real-time
All right.
boxing.
Some suggestions. So this one I actually want to talk about. So the only FPS game that should be recommended, but actually not for skirmishers, is Adrenaline. That is very true. I was thinking of Adrenaline immediately, but it's actually a Euro in disguise.
Yeah.
So
it-
it's not
it-
fast paced. After
Yes.
1 hour, you might find the skirmisher guy just like looking at you across the table, like, when is this going to end?
Is it my turn?
agree. Cool.
One other suggestion here is Kaiju.
Yeah, that little game.
I believe Kaiju is also that simultaneous play, if I'm not mistaken. I think who
Aldrich?
Aldrich
Yep.
showed this to us, right? Where you have your monsters and you're throwing attacks to the monsters. There's a space variation to this as well, where you have ships and you now are shooting with ships.
Oh, and here another one. Very good, very good.
Oh, ho, ho.
Santorini. Right. It's actually a pretty quick game it has that right level of competitiveness. Okay.
And it's very
Yes.
sort of like every move that you make, your opponent is. It's not like chess where you have to plan out really far. So very tactical. I think with skirmishers, you are more focused on tactics rather than a long-term strategy. So with Santorini, it really felt more tactic oriented rather than building up a whole uh, set of moves. Oh, I've planned 10 moves ahead. It's type of setup.
And then a barrage of recommendations from Clint. Clint,
The
why don't you just
classics.
join the episode, buddy? Sign in.
I was
Exploding
waiting for you,
Kittens,
Clint.
Organ
I miss you,
Attack,
boy.
and King of Tokyo.
Dude.
Did you guys see
Clint, I
that
miss
there's
ya.
an exploding minions?
Yes, minions.
What? Oh, wow. It's getting to
But
that
it's
point.
pricey. It feels pricey.
It probably has an IP attached to it that costs millions. So
Yeah. But it is cool though, and it has this hologram effect. So when you look at it, it's the minion, and then when you move the hologram, he explodes.
okay.
That's
pretty cool.
violent.
I agree with this here for King of Tokyo, but there are some
take that. Yahtzee.
some games of King of Tokyo that can slow down, but I don't think that's significantly long. So
Yeah.
I agree with
The
King of
base
Tokyo.
game, King of Tokyo, really fast, and it's all just roll. Okay, move next.
Unless you're fighting against that guy that is just so lucky and can heal up every round. Just like,
Sure.
like, why won't you die?
That's where the cards come in. All right, now all my twos are damaged.
All right, so we move to wait, sorry, let me remove that. And let's go ahead and moved back to the wheel, this time with Skirmisher also removed.
Go Ninja.
There
Let's
you go.
go.
Okay, so we are
Ninja, ninja,
down to
ninja.
7 personality types. And let's spin.
Spin that wheel.
Oh,
Oh,
What?
okay. So, okay, the gardener. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so gardener,
Okay,
we will
let's see the
remove the
game.
gardener. And
Being challenged here with all this
let's
last minute thinking.
yeah, I wasn't expecting the gardener.
okay. I can go first. But no,
Oh,
no,
wait,
no. You have to explain who the gardener first is.
yep,
Okay,
yep, yep,
I've pulled it up.
exactly. Wait, sorry, 1 sec. I actually shared the wrong tab. That was the initial test. Um, see, did I get that right? Okay, I think this
The
is it.
gardener. So the farmer, the gardener.
1 moment. There.
Are we gonna
Two.
recommend games that are green or plant based?
All right,
Okay,
now
let's
so
find
here we
out.
go. Here we go. Okay, so let's put it up on screen. So let me read it out. So the gardener is looking for quiet, relaxing task completion. They are looking for gameplay where the rules are presented up front and as directly as possible, and where gameplay itself is more spontaneous and reactive. When X happens, I need to do Y. So there isn't any stress or anxiety about having to plan things out like 10 steps in advance, and gardeners enjoy task completion for its own sake. Whether this is completing a level, collecting stars and trophies, or maybe getting collectibles, among the games that usually come up in the list for them are something like Candy Crush and Animal Crossing. And if we scroll up just a little bit here, the gardener is goes with the statement quiet, relaxing task completion. Popular games are Candy Crush Saga, Solitaire, Animal Crossing, The Sims, Super Mario. But actually, Super Mario is kind of high stress.
Yes.
Which one?
Yeah, the very first one.
Very first one. That
Do,
first Goomba.
do you guys see that the psychotic custom levels for Mario?
Yes, yes. The
Oh, that
Impossible
Cat Mario.
Mario.
The
Yeah,
Cat
where
Mario. Oh my goodness.
yeah,
Yeah,
where the you
it,
jump and suddenly the the pillar shoots up and
it's the Dark Souls of Mario,
yeah,
basically. That it's just die and repeat.
The clouds
yes.
are enemies. Cat Mario, the clouds. Oh
So
my
this one's a
goodness.
little interesting because when you go towards task completion and something, a euro comes to mind, but it says also here that they don't want to do 10
Yeah. So
steps in
I can
advance.
start.
Sure,
Um,
go ahead, go ahead.
so I think definitely to a gardener the most appealing aspect is sort of that set collection mechanic, and really more of like you have possibly an open draft. So one of my favorites there, um, well, especially since it is about gardening, all two sort of. So my favorite there would be herbaceous. Um, you are trying to create sets of herbs to put in your herb garden, and it's very simple because you draw a card and decide whether you put it in your garden or in the public garden, and then the next one you gotta put it in your garden or whatever is the opposite of the action you did before, and then at the start of your turn you can check in a completed set. That's it. So I think with gardeners, it's when it's as simple as possible, but at the same time, there's still some juicy decisions that you have to go through. I think that is what would appeal to gardeners a lot. So my first recommendation is herbaceous.
Okay. For me, I'm going to go with I am gonna have to lean a little bit more towards maybe the Euro style. Um, One game that does come up immediately would be my favorite bag building game, Orleans.
Mm.
So pretty
Mm.
much whatever you draw from the bag, you just have to work with that. That's like what you have for the round. You can assign them to different parts of the board and take a few actions. So you are completing some tasks like, oh, I want to move up the road so I can collect that silk or that cheese. That there's so many like little short term or little mini goals that add up to something bigger in the end. So it's also at a very relaxing pace that the most that you have to worry about is people maybe blocking your path and what you're building. So it's very minimal. Um, it again, this is doing completing tasks just for the sake of completing it because like you can almost be left alone to do what you want, which is
Yes.
exactly what Euros are. But it just so happens that I really enjoy Orleans, so that would be something I would recommend
And
to
I,
the
I I
Guardian.
think what I like also, and that maybe also appeals with the whole gardener persona, would be you don't get your action right away. Like sometimes you gotta plant the seeds first, right? Then you have to put
You
in
gotta
one of
work for
your
it.
Yeah, yeah.
right. You put in you don't have the right combination, but at least you have already one of them. You're gonna put it there
Exactly.
and hope for the next round to
Yeah.
hopefully complete it. When you do complete it, yay! I get to do my action, and that's it. And yeah, it's one of those games that you just get lost in your own puzzle.
Nice. My
How
game
about
would
you?
be Tokaido.
Ah,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, good
it's
good
a
pick, good pick.
pretty
yes, yes, yes.
straight line
Yeah,
going
it's
up.
the definition of relaxing board game, so
Going to the onsens and all that. Yeah, everyone knows more or less what Tokaido is. Do I have to explain?
Well, yeah. So you're going around Japan, from uh, Uedo to
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's the whole hike through Tokaido.
Tokaido,
yes.
yeah, mismo, yes. You
So
go
there's
through
a,
onsens, you go through uh,
but it's actually the
shopkeepers,
shoreline, right? It is
shoreline,
a
yes.
shoreline that you're walking up and down, and
Right.
um, I have experienced it in Japan where there's cities you don't realize you already moved to another city. You could be just walking, and it is very very scenic. You have you there would be parks there and shrines that practically have no names because they're just in between buildings, and they just, oh, there's a patch here that we can put a garden on, and I'm just there stuck taking pictures of things because like, really that's here, and there's
It's
so it's so scenic. So
Yeah,
yes.
there's another one in the next
it's
10
a
feet, sir.
Exactly. I
over
know.
there is another one.
Yes.
You can buy souvenirs in the other store right there. Look.
Yes, yes, and then donate in the shrines.
Good
Yes.
recommendation.
Oh,
It
All
did
right.
come up actually here, so somebody did bring up also Tokaido with the Crossroad
weird.
expansion.
So I think we
Oh,
have a um oh, we missed some last minute
Yeah, there is one
recommendations
Pahabol ni
from our
Clint.
skirmish,
Yep,
which is really good. Yes,
unmatched, right?
oh
unmatched,
yeah.
fantastic.
Oh
Yes,
yeah.
I wanna try out this game. I'm just trying to figure out which edition or which matchup I'm gonna
I just want to
try out.
borrow one. Like someone lent. I'll play the Bruce Lee one.
So TJ mentioned Machikoro.
Right.
Yes,
That's good.
very.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You
Yes.
know, it's I actually made I tried to make like an agricultura type of game inspired by Machikoro, where the idea is that if it rains, everybody's plot of land would grow a bit, right? So that was the
Uh-huh.
premise. Um, but yeah.
I actually I tried working out a version using Machikoro system for a D&D themed game.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Cool, cool, cool.
Nice.
And they also did that with the Valeria card kingdoms, but it's they went overboard with,
I
with
remember
the
the very first Valeria game that you owned. I really enjoyed playing that. But then the ones that came afterwards were like, no, no.
yeah. I think you played the Valeria Quest.
Quest. Yeah, quest
Yes,
quest
which is
quest for Valeria or something like that.
yes, that one. I actually brought that home. It was in the office, and I saw it like, ha, Does this have a single player? It does. So I'm gonna try that out one of these days. Roni mentioned Patchwork, so definitely, and I think Nico also connected that with a lot of the Tetris.
Yeah, Patchwork
uh,
also and Cottage Garden. Okay.
Cottage Garden. What are their sequels? There's a few more in that line. Number nine is also an interesting sort of Tetris style. Quacks agree because of the whole you're sort of collecting potions
Right.
and
And you're just completing for the sake of completing.
yes,
True.
agree, agree. And I'm gonna start with
Oh, there's
my
one last one here, which is
yes,
well,
I know, and I'm gonna
you-
that was my second recommendation,
okay.
and I'm
Oh,
just gonna join with Clint, which is Sunset Over Water. These are two of my pencil first. It's the publisher that made Herbaceous, I think, and Sunset Over Water, and they have this really very artsy appeal to their games. With Sunset Over Water, you're an artist, and you wake up depending on what time you want to wake up, and depending on that, that's where you start your day. And you walk around this scenic landscape and collecting different paintings. Hopefully, you stumble upon enough to make a collection that hopefully some buyer, when you go back home, is willing to buy it from you. But it's a very uh, serene type of game, and it's just really really pretty. So, Sunset Over
Okay.
Water, agree.
So mine is also just going to be a quick one because the moment I read Candy Crush, one game immediately came to mind. It has been the most successful translation of that idea to any board game that I can think of, and that would be Potion Explosion.
Yes.
So taking
yes.
quacks, taking the whole Tetris suggestion that Nick threw in, and pretty much just there using also some of the games mentioned, which is specifically Candy Crush Saga. Potion Explosion has been so effective as a gateway game to people that always reference mobile games. Any of their little gem games or something, just like I know
Bejeweled.
exactly what to bring out for you. So it's quick enough. It has very short planning, and at the same time, you are just trying to complete or make the most of your turn. And then by the time you go around the table, the dispenser is in such a totally different configuration.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. You don't
I
want to
agree
plan in
with
that
that.
game.
Especially
Agree,
the
So
agree.
colors are like way up there.
yep. So
And
Me,
that
I
is
like how you combo in
yeah.
potions,
yeah, that
right?
too.
Where when you combo with how things drop, but if you can plan it out with your potions to sort of manipulate the array first of options, then set up your combo, and then ask some cheats from the teacher just so they can make more combos. Then yeah,
Yeah.
agree.
How could you not shout combo?
Where you can just see that combo meter go up.
Yum, delicious.
Yeah.
All right. So there, that was pretty quick. So I don't know, Ko, what you got for your second
I
recommendation for the guard?
got ingenious. It's
Okay.
a
Oh.
abstract game where you actually have to match the shapes and colors of certain abstract figures. There's a two-player, there's four-player, there's even a six-player one. And it's pretty, for me, it's pretty relaxing because all you have to do is to make sure that you get points by matching. And yet
Mhm.
you have to think that you're not getting points because of the most uh, figure that you're giving points to, but your score is the lowest uh, abstract shape that you have in your repertoire.
Mhm.
So let's say there's a star, circle, and asterisk, and then if the asterisk is your lowest score, that's your score.
Mhm.
So you have to make sure you balance out everything as you play along. not about okay. I'll keep on matching up the circles. I'll get higher points. All right, and then you're leaving your squares at zero. What's your final score? Zero. So you're like, okay, let's all bring them all together up. Every turn you're thinking, okay, what's my lowest score? Let's bring it up. Let's find a way. And same goes with your other competitors. And then at the end, aside from the fact that the board is beautiful, it's got a combination of colors and shapes. You actually are kind of proud of yourself. You actually thought about how to bring up everything. You balanced
It's a
how you
constant
thought.
balance of you know what, just because of what you said, and also with the shape of
Yeah, something came up to me too. Also,
yes, have we maybe we came up with the same one. It's also that
Okay.
Japanese theme.
no,
in-
no,
Oh no.
I was gonna
Okay,
count to
okay,
three.
cool.
no.
and you're gonna say,
I got Quirkle.
Oh, okay, yeah, agree.
oh, that bunch of wooden dice game. Okay.
The Scrabble with shapes and
Exactly.
colors.
That's like when he was mentioning shapes and colors, just like this is another gardener game.
It is, isn't it?
Well, mine was that the in Takenoko you get to play as the gardener, and in the gardener
And as a
your
panda.
objective is literally to grow this bamboo. And sometimes you don't want to care about the game anymore. You're just hating on people for like taking the bamboo away. But sometimes you want to do it because, oh, wait a minute, that bamboo is a little bit longer than the other one. So I'm gonna have to trim that off. Let's get the panda, eat that first. Okay, cool.
Get the
Go
panda.
away. Let me
That
grow those
damn
again.
Panda.
Yeah. All right. So,
All right.
well, that was three different personality types. We just hit a little over an hour now, and actually, just to put a little bit of context into where these recommendations are coming from, that all three of us actually did also take the Quantic Foundry,
Yes.
the motivation profile test, and just to share with everyone, like from our results, that I was identified as a Slayer Gladiator. So it is Slayer that I have a small hint of Gladiator. Ron, what did you get?
I get a primarily a skirmisher, then
Oh,
Slayer.
there you go.
Okay.
So you
So
So
get the combo?
at least we were able to cover like one topic that you actually technically represent. Like
Yes,
we didn't
yes.
touch Slayer or Gladiator, so it's like I'm throwing recommendations for player types that it's not me.
Yes.
Same
Yes.
here.
So agree about how like quick games and how the skirmisher profile really fits me in the sense of, but at the same time in the Slayer aspect where you're normally the the main hero that you figure out how to defeat the enemies and so forth. So that there's that aspect, but it's not, to me it's not my priority. My priority is really more of like dealing with the situation in front of me as fast as I could. Um, so that's kind of how like it appealed, and it also translated to the games I like playing. And we've said this before. We've gone through the whole uh, gamer motivations from Quantic Foundry, and how really well it fits with the different personas of players. And again, it's not about sort of this is just you. It's really more of like what appeals to you the most and how that works in, again, all of the probable games that you might enjoy if you can figure out what makes you enjoy games.
Wait, I know we
True.
skipped over KO. What did you get for your results?
Oh, me? Pure gladiator. I'm pure gladiator. I throw out creativity, which means I usually skip or I don't put much context into character creation. I'm given what I got, and I'm gonna use him to the best of my ability, to whatever skills he's got, to kill you. Okay, so if I'm the gardener, I'm gonna use my hoe.
The irony of the gladiator being the guy pushing Forgotten Waters.
Yeah.
No, but
Well,
because
there's no-
with
well,
Forgotten Waters, you don't have to set up characters.
No, but you get to choose how you're developing their skills.
Sure.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah,
but
that's right.
again, it's the gladiator still needs to level up. You need to get more weapons, and you need to armor
Yeah.
up, and so that's part of it.
Okay,
But you want to
sure.
go into battle right away.
Yeah,
Check,
it's a
check.
skill based. So I like to learn how the game works. Fine, I die every now and then. I lose every now and then, but that's how you learn. And then utilizing whatever you know to beat the next guy.
Yes.
Like, all right, I'm now on the ninth place
Yeah.
because I beat one
That
guy.
is that's so Dark Souls right there.
That's me, pure gladiator.
All right. So we
Okay.
have some people. So hello.
Hey,
Hi.
Hi from
hey,
Hello.
Twitch.
Yes.
And then
Farsh and Chops.
TJ
Yeah,
said
farts and
he needs
chops.
to BRB meetings.
Okay.
You still at work?
And then he's lurking.
Awesome. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Someone's going to try guessing our ages and jobs. Go for it. I'd be interested to find out.
I'll be
Yes.
impressed if you
Post
can guess
those
my
below,
age.
and let's see if you can figure out what we
Yeah,
do for a living.
this will be make perfect for like the after show edit.
Alrighty. So
But
hopefully,
yeah,
yeah. Go ahead, Javi.
no. So pretty much, I would encourage everyone to probably drop by the Quantic Foundry website. Definitely try the gamer motivation profile. You might learn a little bit of something about like how you enjoy or what types of games appeal to you. Now, this is really going to be about mobile and video games, so it's really a matter of you also figuring out how to translate that into board games. And I hope that today's episode and discussion kind of helps give you some ideas of where you might be able to go towards when you're thinking of a game for those type of gamer personality types.
Yes, and you can go
Mhm.
check that out in Quantric Foundry. Again, it's not necessarily cut in stone.
Right.
It is uh, something that would could be something that would inspire you to try out different games, and hopefully, you do get to try them out. All right. So we do have some guesses from the Twitch chat, and I'm
Farce and
sorry, it
chops.
is really far from what
Oh
we
my,
do.
it's so far.
I mean, I don't understand his guesses with the names. I mean, our names are practically in front of us.
Yeah, it's on screen.
It's all
It's
right.
it,
But thank you
it's
for stopping by.
it's
Oh,
right.
dude, I'm the youngest. Look at that.
Congratulations.
All
Okay.
right.
So thank you.
Interesting. It's so
Thank
interesting.
you very much, everyone, for joining us today. You guys can always catch us every week. And of course, you can also find the different shows of Variable Play. Uh, we have Larong Atin, and uh,
What do we have booked for this week? Let's pull up the calendar. We have everything
yeah,
scheduled
pull up the
out.
calendar.
Right. But just don't forget on Sundays, watch Ron get tortured in the morning and talk magic with me in the evening.
I'd watch
Yes.
that.
So let me just look up our calendar.
Farce and chops, dude.
Yes, we need a good laugh. Thank you. This is definitely making it to the after show.
Oh,
All
you're
right.
making me
So on
making
wait,
my night.
today is the 23rd. So we already had the news and open game night. So okay, so tomorrow Monkey plays. Danalyn is unboxing Tinder blocks and Kirin. So you can find her at the Monkey Plays Facebook page, her YouTube, and as well as the Facebook page of Variable Play. And then on Saturday, it's gonna be Tados time. So Sabados with Tados with Philippine Tados. Lingkod, lingkod. Lingkod, likod. Posture during painting. So Philippine Tados
What? Okay, that's
Oh,
interesting.
that's gonna be
is
interesting. Look at that.
a Facebook group specifically oriented into painting miniatures. Well, not just miniatures; they also have Gundam and other any type of miniature painting. So they are going to be talking about what are the recommended posture, because you could sort of cram yourself into a bad habit when painting, and that might not be a good thing for you in the long run. Right. And so that's 8 p.m. Um, and on 8:30 we have the Clint and some special guests. I think I'm actually invited in this one. So
You,
SP3H live.
You think?
yeah.
And then of course Sunday
That's how
morning.
many shows Ron is doing on a weekly basis, man. It's like, oh, I'm in this show. Okay.
I think I'm in this
Oh,
show.
I was
So
invited.
on Sunday, 8 a.m., Ron and my friend Gabay, we do sort of variations to board games and card games, but with a fitness twist. It's just my way to get myself moving. And then Sunday night magic, of course, with Javi.
Right. So
Howdy.
this Sunday, we were I was reserving a special episode, but since the new Midnight Hunt set for Magic the Gathering came out, I will be doing my recommendations from the set specifically for the format of Commander.
Nice. I look forward to that.
I'm
All
not
right.
decided yet if I want to go with the top 10 or if I want to do more than 10. So it's just going to be my Midnight Hunt recommendations.
There you go.
All
Stay
right,
tuned
cool,
for
cool,
that.
cool. So, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us this evening. Until next time, try to
Yeah.
keep safe. The pandemic
Keep
is still
gaming.
raging on, but please
Oh.
do find ways to game video games, card games, solo games.
Connect.
So any way that you can de-stress with how our society works at the moment. But until next time, thank you very much for joining us. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye bye.
Keep safe. Keep gaming.